Hello and welcome to another video tutorial by iSales Solutions. I am Matthew E. Salas, and today we're going to be talking about how you can create reports, dashboards, and goals in Pipedrive. Now, when we talk about creating these types of reports, the place that we're going to do it here is in this tab right here, which is the Insights tab, right? Once you click on this Insights tab, you'll be shown your dashboard. And the first thing that you need to keep in mind is that there are kind of three different elements or items that we have available. As I mentioned, we have dashboards, goals, and reports. Reports make up the what I would say, the fundamental building block of the Insights tab. An individual report can be related to a deal or activities or forecasting in Pipedrive. At this moment, unfortunately, we can't report on organizations or people unless it's related to activities, and we cannot report on right now on leads, right? So you have reports, which are this fundamental building block, and then similar to that, you have goals. So the reports right here and the goals, and let me move my head over here. A goal would be a report where you're putting a goal or a objective to reach. So, for example, you might want your team members to create 10 new deals or 10 new qualified opportunities per month or per week, whatever it is. And you can set that goal at 10, and you can you can report on the progress compared to that goal. It could be a revenue goal, or it could also be an activity goal. So you have reports, and then you have the slightly modified goals, which are a type of report. And then we have dashboards. A dashboard is a collection of reports that you can move around and see all in one screen, just as we are seeing right here. Now, there's a couple of very important things to keep in mind about a dashboard. A dashboard can have up to 25 different reports on it. If you're on the basic plan or the advanced plan, you can only have just one dashboard. But if you are on the professional plan or the enterprise plan, then that's where you can start to have multiple dashboards and you have more flexibility in your reporting capabilities. Something else to keep in mind here is that Pipedrive recently instituted the ability to add sections to your reports. So let's say that you have 10 reports based on sales performance, and you have 15 reports based on activities, whatever it is, you're able to create sections within your reports, right? Maybe one section is sales, and you might have another section which is, activities, and you're better able to organize your reports this way, right? So you say deal started, that goes in sales, right? Whereas we don't even have an activities report yet, but we'd be able to put that there, right? So we've talked about reports, and we've talked about goals and dashboards. A couple other things to keep in mind about reports. This Insights tab is really the functionality and what you're able to do is really dependent on what Pipedrive plan you have. So if you're on one of the earlier plans, you might have a limit of 30 reports per company, whereas if you're on the professional plan, I think it's up to like 150 reports. So you get a lot more flexibility the more, the higher your Pipedrive plan is. Let's talk a little bit more about creating reports and what that actually looks like. To create a report, the way to do that is you can hit this add button right here, and you can hit report. Right here, you can see the three main categories of reports that we can have. Like I mentioned, we can create activity reports, deal reports, and forecasting and subscription reports. Forecasting and subscription is only available to the professional plan and up. So if you're on the advanced plan or the basic plan or central plan, I think it's called, then you do not have access to the forecasting and subscription section. So when you create a report, then you see that you kind of have report types, right? So we have these main categories, and then we have types. So for activities, you have activity performance and email performance, whereas for deals, you have deal performance, deal conversion, deal duration, and progress reports. Most of the reports that I help my clients build out are typically performance reports, conversion reports, and sometimes a deal duration report of how long that sales cycle typically lasts. Don't really use progress that much, but again, everyone has different needs, reporting needs, and we create the reports that make most sense for them. So let's create here. Let's create a new report here. So let's say we want to see how many new deals were created month to month, right? So the way that we do that first is we look at the conditionality, right? What is the set of data that we want to look at? In this point, yeah, like I said, we're actually going to be doing a number of deals created month to month. So this works well. We can say, okay, I want to look at all deals that were created this year. And really, that's all the conditions I need, right? If we're doing some other types of reports, right, you might want to put, for example, here, I want to look at specific lead sources, how many deals were created month to month for specific lead sources, or the other thing to keep in mind is pipeline, right? So if you have multiple pipelines, then you definitely want to mention the pipeline here. Okay, so we have when the deal was created and the pipeline that we're looking at. Now let's go down to the report types itself. We have a number of different report types available to us. We have column charts, bar charts, pie charts, scorecards, and finally tables, right? The tables are good, for example, if you have like a weekly or monthly meeting with your team and you say, look, these are the open deals, let's talk through them. Typically that would happen if you have very high ticket sales where the sales manager is really involved talking through each of the deals. Whereas you have other reports here like the scorecards, great for looking at averages. What's the average deal value? What's the average sales cycle? How many deals were created this entire year, something like that. Averages and totals, this is what the scorecard is great at. Pie chart is really good for kind of comparing and seeing what are the most typical lost reasons why deals are being lost, and what are the most typical lead sources, what are deals, where are these deals being sourced from. Also it could be used, say, for by product or anything like that as well. Bar charts, it's everyone's preference what they like. For some reason, I just don't like the look of bar charts. I think it's less readable. I really like the standard column chart, and this is where we're able to set up the reports how we typically set them up. Whereas we look at, say, deals created, and we see from a month-to-month basis, how many deals are created per month. So you can see here, for example, we have deals created month to month. In our report, this is in our demo account, so obviously we don't have a lot of, all we have is just test deals here. But you can see we have a lot of the other kind of conditions set up here. So for this column chart, for example, we have the y-axis. We can see the number of deals created, or maybe we want to see the value of deals created. Similarly, you can also see the weighted value of deals created. So this is based on the win percentage. What's your win probability for that deal? So let's say that you have $1 million in the pipeline of deals that were created this month, but your win percentage of those is probably about 60%. Then you might have 600,000 in the weighted value, right? Typically, what I'll do is when I work with clients to create dashboards, we'll do both, right? We'll have two separate reports. We have one report for the quantity of deals, and then one report for the value of those deals. Created month to month, and then 1 month to month is another way to do it. So the y-axis here is great for seeing a number versus value, and then the x-axis is great for kind of defining what you want your graph to look like. Again, when we're talking about deal performance, I really like to look at it, in the chronology, in time. So for like a year period, I'll look at for a month-to-month basis. So here I do deals. I want to see by view by deal created month to month. You have a bunch of other options here, but really for us, what makes most sense is this way. The last thing that we want to mention here is segmented by. Here's where you're able to say, okay, maybe I want to see, both these deals are still open. That's great. But typically, when I look at deals created month to month, I'll look at lead source, right? Or I'll look at the creator, right? Or the owner. Who is it that owns that deal? So and say, oh, okay, George Ramos did a good job. He created 2 deals so far in February, right? Or this, whatever it is, right? Now, you can see here that we've created the report, we've added all the conditions and segmentation that we want. Just one other thing that you see is when you create the report, you'll be able to see the details here at the bottom as well. This is like any other list view where you're able to change the columns around, see whatever information you want, and you're also able to export those results. Also, let's say that we had a whole bunch of information here for a lot of months. You're able to click on each month, and that will pull up the specific report for the column that you clicked on, and you're also able to export just that as well. Okay, so now once you finish creating your report, you're going to hit save. And when you do that, you have the opportunity to update the name of the report. So for example, I would typically do number of deals created month to month, right? I'm going to put it in the sales section of my reports, and I'm also going to add it to the dashboard. If you have multiple dashboards, you can add reports to multiple dashboards as well, or you can go ahead and create a new dashboard right here. So I'm going to create a new one. All right. All right, so now that we've saved this report, you can see, for example, we have this dashboard here, and we've added the report to it. Looking at goals, I'll jump into this real quick. When we go to create a goal, you have the same type of options, right? With a little different, but you can see, for example, goals can be based on number of deals created, number of deals progressed, and number of deals won, and also value, same type of stuff. And then activities completed and added, and forecasting as well. So you can see it's the same type of thing. So let's say that we want to see, we want to make sure that the user, that George, in the sales pipeline, and again, you can do by user or by team or by entire company. And we want to see, that on a monthly basis, and we can do it for the rest of this year, right? We can say on a monthly basis, we want George to create 5 deals per month, right? Maybe he works with really high value ticket deals. Or we need an entire company, whatever. Okay, so we've now created this dashboard with this report, this goals report with all of the, the goals for each month. So we can say, okay, George right now, or the entire company in this case, we've had 2 goals, two deals created this month. We still need 3 more to reach it. Right now, just like reports, because these goals are a type of report, you're able to add them to a dashboard, right? And view that as well. Just like reports as well, you're able to click on it, and you're able to see the details for each of these reports. Okay, so we've talked about reports now in detail. We've talked about goals, and we've talked a little bit about the dashboard. I do want to just mention a few other things here. So for the dashboard, as you see, you're able to move the reports around just by clicking and dragging, right? You're also able to change the size of the reports from this small, and you can also drag it all the way across. You can also make it a little bit wider or longer as well. Like I mentioned, you have it doesn't matter what plan you're on, each dashboard can only have up to 25 reports. So just keep that in mind as well. When we talk about how we structure the reports, at least for what I've seen a lot of my clients prefer, is that they will have information about deals created, right? Number and value deals created up top. Then they'll go into conversion. That's the next thing they usually like to see, deal conversion win rates. And then they like to see one deals month to month, value of one deals month to month, and then they like to see activities at the end. Sometimes they also have like a section in the middle for open deals and a list of those with the table view. But again, everyone's reporting needs are different, but that's just typically what we see on our side. When we talk about these reports, a couple other things worth mentioning as well is that each dashboard is customizable for each Pipedrive user. Everyone has access to the Insights tab. By default, the dashboards are not shared, but you are able to share with other users, right? Or you're able to share a public link so anyone who has that link can access it. One thing to keep in mind with these links is you can have different links for different people. So maybe you give a link to your marketing team, a link to your sales team, a link to your operations team or customer success team, and they're different links. So at any point that you need to revoke access to a specific person, you delete the link that you shared with them. Now, these links, just to show you what it looks like, It looks just like a standard web page. Whether you share it with a Pipedrive user or you share it with a link like this, these are view only. So unfortunately, if you are viewing it, unfortunately you can't see more details than just this, right? If you're sharing with another Pipedrive user, you will see those shared dashboards right in this section here, right? Um, and the other thing to keep in mind about dashboards is while we have conditions for each of the reports, we can also create conditions for the entire dashboard. So, for example, right now we have this goal report. We have a normal report right here, but let's say we want to narrow down the period that we're looking at. So maybe this week, and we might say that we also want to narrow down who we're looking at for. So maybe we just want to see George's, deals that he created and everything like that. So that's another important thing to keep in mind. A lot of times when we create these reports, we want to segment by, say, lead source and user, but sometimes you can't do that at the same time. So what I would say in that circumstance is you segment by lead source at the report level, and then at the dashboard level, you can segment by user when you go through each user's performance for that week, month, quarter, or year. Right? Obviously, you guys know that you're able to, um, pull standard list view reports from any type of list view, whether that is at the deal level, right, person, organization level. But the kind of more insightful visual reports are all here located in the Insights tab. If you have any questions about creating reports or need help creating reports, you can leave us a comment or you can fill out the web form that we have in the description. Please remember to give a like to the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We're putting out one new tutorial video in English and one new tutorial video in Spanish every week to make sure that our current clients, future clients, and our entire community has the resources they need to use Pipedrive as effectively as possible.